Okay, so here are the SNL questions. And again, these are just questions. There's no wrong answer because you're you. These are your opinions, all right? Who was your favorite host?
I think probably Juliana Margulies. I was smitten with her, but I
How
was
can you
just so
not? I
I
mean,
was so
she's just
dazzled
so.
by her. Well, I didn't watch ER. I knew she was on ER, but I had zero expectations when she came in,
Yeah, but
and
just
then
as a human, I mean, without ER, she's still like drop dead gorgeous. And then you add a personality to that. How do you not?
exactly.
Not asking who your favorite band is, but what was your favorite musical performance where you were like, what was that?
No, that's very easy. It was the late amazing great Val Kilmer was the host, and U2 was the musical guest. And when they performed their number, um, this is Bono. This is when Bono walked off the stage and walked around the studio singing the song, and that was very unrehearsed. Nobody had an idea. At least nobody on the
Oh, really?
production side knew that was going to happen. Yeah, so they're bringing up the house lights, and the camera operators are scrambling around to get to keep the camera on him and to cover it. And I was out there on the floor, so I was all
Uh
happening
huh.
like kind of in front of me, which was so that would have to be the winner, without a doubt.
What is your favorite moment on the show? It doesn't have to be a sketch. It could be behind the scenes. It could be, but like the moment where when you think of SNL, you go, that was the best moment.
I can think of two. One was when I did my first Weekend Update rap. I did a rap to Britney Spears, and that seemed to go very well.
It
And
did. It
then
was hysterical.
yeah, and then I did a scene called Steve Baxter, Hollywood gynecologist, that Harper Steele also wrote that one. And I am sort of like, it was such a strange piece. Bill Murray is Steve Baxter, the Hollywood gynecologist. It's not a piece that would get on now, probably. But I'm this, song and dance man introducing him, singing and dancing and doing this little number. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was fun. It was the kind of thing I hadn't really done on the show and never did again because I didn't take Lorne's note between dress and air. I did this crazy head movement thing that, just like, wow, trying to, be a singer in the moment. It was bad. And he said, don't do that, Chris. Don't do that. I did it anyway. I never did another one of those pieces. So I learned my lesson the hard way.
Favorite cast member to perform with? Like you always look forward to working with.
I mean, Will Ferrell, you know. Will Forte was great too, but Will Ferrell for sure. Because he was just such a, it's for all of the obvious reasons, but also just such a nice, good person and just made me
Yeah.
laugh so much personally and just, yeah, just, I don't know. You didn't necessarily know exactly what you were going to get. He was very reliable, but like what he did in the
Right.
cowbell sketch, and other stuff that I was in with him. Just yeah, such a. If I had to pick a favorite, it'd probably be Will. Yeah.
What is Lorne really like, and do you have an impression?
Well, and I think everybody's got a Lorne impression. It's a little bit like that. Um, and I kind of describe him as a distant father. Distant father figure. Kind of cool, a little reserved. But if you can get him to laugh at something, at the table read or whatever, it's pretty satisfying. But I always got along with him. Even after I got fired and rehired, he brought me into his office and said, "I made a mistake. What can I say?" Which is, I think, rare for
Wow.
Lorne. So yeah.
Who was your most nightmare host that you had an experience with?
Well, I can't really. It wasn't anything between him and me, um, but I didn't care for Tom Green. Tom came on the show and really wanted to make it into the Tom Green show, and Lorne kind of let him. And
Huh.
it wasn't my kind of comedy. It just wasn't my cup of tea, and I resented the fact that, I mean, I think Lorne thought he was like the next Andy Kaufman or something. I don't know, but he just
Okay.
sort of let these sketches go up that were just like, oh man, I don't know. And I'm not saying Tom's not a talented guy, but just I did not like what he brought to the show that week.
It's the Patrick Labyorteaux Show, Patrick Labyorteaux. He's the one you gotta know.